with actual consequences. And now, let's meet our master debaters.
Today's matchup, Espo versus Derek.
Go ahead, Shane.
Espo, Derek, we're back after a leave of absence.
Yes.
2-2, both of you guys. How are you feeling?
Look, this is the deciding matchup today in our 5-game series. And what's going to happen here is whoever loses has to stand up next week for the entire episode. And the way we're in shape, that's going to be tough for both of us here.
Not a great time.
But the winner will be crowned today as the winner of our 5-game set. And, you candy ass, I'm ready to beat you up, my friend.
You still look like 10 pounds of monkey crap in a 5-pound bag. And respectfully, I look forward to watching you stand all episode long next week.
Damn.
I've been called much worse by much better, so I'm not really concerned with you.
All right, you guys ready to rock and roll?
Let's do it.
This.
Let's go ahead and see what our first topic is. Some movement in the Suns organization. Obviously, Frank Vogel being introduced as the head coach. But Torey Lovullo just getting an extension. Derek, you won last week. Who has the better coaching staff?
It's absolutely the Arizona Diamondbacks. It's the Arizona Diamondbacks. And the reason why is because the Arizona Diamondbacks have an absolute all-star team when it comes to their coaching staff. Torey Lovullo, the winningest coach in Diamondbacks history, extended 1 year, probably deserves more, but he is still that humble that he feels like he should earn it. But when you look at the rest of his coaching staff, the Diamondbacks acquired the exact pieces they needed in order to build a team that was going to be built through their farm system. Basically mentors that could help these young players make that leap from the minor league system up to the major leagues and stick around. And when you look at who they have, they're even deep at manager, right? You got Torey Lovullo, you got Jeff Bannister. Jeff Bannister is a former American League Manager of the Year, and that's your bench coach. You also have an absolute legend in Brent Strom, one of the greatest pitching coaches in Major League Baseball history. In fact, Brent Strom he has a delightful story that he loves to tell where he was the second guy to have Tommy John surgery. And had he been the first, we would call it Brent Strom surgery, or for short, BS surgery. You don't get better than that. A guy that not only has that knowledge, but also jokes like that. Jokes for days. This is the best coaching staff in Arizona, period.
Do you smell that? Is it coming through your screen? He mentioned BS, and there's been more bullshit in that answer than Biff Tannen's car in Back to the Future. All right? This is total crap. The Phoenix Suns have a true all-star staff. You got Kevin Young, who was a wanted assistant on that staff. David Fizdale, take that for data. David Fizdale has been a head coach and one of the most respected assistant coaches in the game. And you had Frank Vogel, who has won a championship. I must have missed where Torey Lovullo has held up the World Series trophy. Oh, and I must have missed the fact that when you get a 1-year extension, that ain't a whole hell of a lot of confidence in you. Frank Vogel, 5-year contract. His assistants, the 2 highest paid assistants in basketball. They have the pedigree to take the Phoenix Suns where they want to go. And Frank Vogel is a winner. Torey Lovullo is winning this season, but overall, Torey Lovullo is an average manager. And it pains me to say that as a fellow Italian, but it's damn true. Torey Lovullo is an average manager at best. Frank Vogel is a champion and the first winning coach in winning a championship coach in Phoenix Suns history. All right? The Phoenix Suns have a better coaching staff, even if I can't spit it out.
You said that they have the 2 highest paid assistant coaches. Why? That seems like a waste. What are we even doing here? Highest paid assistant coaches, whatever. I will say this, that is an unproven staff, but the Arizona Diamondbacks have already proved what it's unproven. What have they done for the Suns as a staff? Nothing, because they're new. They got hired 2 days ago. Tell me what they've done now. I want to know what they've done for this team.
You know what?
How many games have they won?
How
many games are they over 500? What division lead do they have?
You know what? They're 500, and Torey Lovullo isn't for his career as a Diamondbacks manager.
Oh, that's not Torey Lovullo's fault. That is the front office's fault.
He's the manager.
There's very little you can do about a 100-loss season when you're not given much. But I will say that Torey Lovullo made it through that and is now proving that it was the roster and not his managing that caused the team to lose over 100 games. Torey Lovullo, best staff in baseball.
Frank Vogel won't have 100 losses over the 5 years of his contract with the Suns. Torey Lovullo has had that in 1 season. This coaching staff is well above average, and the reason you pay those assistants is because they're head coaching candidates, and you pay them top dollar to come be assistants under Frank Vogel. They're the best staff between the two.
All right. Pretty heated first round back. Also, I don't know if you guys
We're pent up.
I don't know if you guys know this, chat, but I am your new mayor of PHNX.
He is.
And as one of my first things that I'm going to do is I'm going to give the chat their power back. I am no longer going to be judging.
Oh my God.
Yep. So chat.
Oh my God.
All 3 of them get to vote?
You get to
Oh
vote.
my God.
There's 13 of them in there, Espo. Be nice. Espo's not getting the votes.
You still look very handsome with the mayor sash on, regardless of if it's your decision.
At the end of the 3rd round, I will open up the poll, and you guys get to vote on the winner of this series, Southwest Buys. But for now, let's get into round 2. I don't even know how to phrase this question. Should the Coyotes just leave? I don't know. Espo, you start.
The Coyotes should leave the Valley with one stipulation. You didn't think I was just going to say it flat out, did you? The one stipulation is this. You give Alex Morello until the start of the season to come up with an actual arena plan. He has to figure it out, have the financing, have everything approved. If he doesn't, you give Matt Ishbia one chance to purchase a team and move him downtown. If that doesn't work by October, you say goodbye, you let them move, you go to Hamilton, you go to Houston, you go to Kansas City, you call it Portland, Salt Lake City. You give one more chance to seriously get this done in Phoenix. All right? And I know I just pissed off our whole Coyotes show, but I'm sorry.
They just stormed out.
Sometimes you have to break a few Gregs and make a Tomulet, okay? And that's just the way it happens.
Espo, that's a lot to say, because I know as much as you love your sugar daddy, Matt Ishbia, he can't fix all of your problems. The Coyotes are an absolute treasure
Dumpster
here
fire
in the Valley, right? They made one mistake by moving to Glendale, which made it seem like this Valley does not love and appreciate this team, when in reality, you just moved so far away from 75% of your season ticket holders that none of them wanted to drive an hour to go watch their team. Nobody loves any team that much. That's a lot. 2-hour commute. Get out of here with that. The Coyotes have an opportunity to fix this situation, find a location here, and become absolutely a huge threat in the NHL, right? They say that hockey doesn't work in the desert. What the hell is happening in Las Vegas? The Golden Knights have been around for a cup of coffee, and this is their 2nd Stanley Cup. Don't tell me fucking hockey doesn't work in the desert. It doesn't. It's not played outside except once a year, and that's usually in cold weather climate. It's played indoors in air-conditioned arenas. The ice is manufactured by men and not God. I'm just saying that this is not a situation where people should say the Coyotes don't belong here. The Valley loves the Coyotes, and this city, with the size that it is and the sports fan base it has, absolutely deserves to have all 4 major sports. The Coyotes just have never really had a chance. They got a chance, I guess you could say, in Glendale, but that was just a bad plan from the beginning. And sometimes you just have to do what, like the Diamondbacks did with Madison Bumgarner, cut your losses and find a new opportunity to succeed. And that's what the Coyotes are going to do.
You're not the mayor anymore, so stop pandering like a pathetic politician. All right? I didn't say hockey can't work in the desert. I'm saying hockey can't work in the desert without an owner that can get shit done. And that's what I'm looking for here. 20 years of wandering the desert since they moved to Glendale. At some point, the NHL has to take it seriously and say, shit or get off the pot. And that's where we're at with the Coyotes. Hockey can work here. Hockey worked here when it was downtown. But if you don't have the right ownership and you don't take care of business, it can't work at a 5,000-seat college stadium for more than the next 3 years while you build an arena. And you can't sit around waiting for that to happen. You need a plan in place before the 2023 calendar year ends. That's all I'm saying. Hockey works here. There are dedicated fans, but at some point, the NHL has to look at it and say, we need ownership that can get it done here. And if we can't find it, we have to find a city that can have ownership to get it done. It's not on the fans, it's on the owner.
It's insulting to say this ownership group didn't have a plan in place, because they absolutely did. It was a damn near flawless plan, and it was for a new facility in Tempe. And unfortunately, outside interests got involved and made it so that voters believed that this facility was going to be a failure and that they were going to pay the cost for it at the end of the day. They had a plan. It just got ruined by people changing the minds of the voters. So we need to vote to keep the Coyotes here in town.
Such a flawless plan that they didn't have a counter argument to all those people against
You're out
them.
of time, Espo. Stop cheating.
It's not your call anymore, so what do I care?
That's a second foul. See?
Well,
I told you he was a monster.
The people in the chat respect my rules.
Shane,
right,
you know
chat?
where you can stuff your bear sash?
You've been muted. You've been muted. Both of you guys have been muted, and we're going on to round 3. Just as a reminder, chat, you get to vote after this round to decide who wins this series of Southwest Bias. On to round 3. What do we got? There's a typo in there. I don't know what happened.
Hey, still.
Will the U of A and ASU still be a rivalry if U of A moves to the Big 12 or out of conference in general? Derek, you are now on the clock.
As a Sun Devil, I will say that ASU versus U of A will always be a rivalry. I hate U of A more than I hate traffic and days off for baseball. I hate U of A, and it is in my veins. I can't stop hating U of A. Well, I'm not going to stop hating U of A just because they move out of the conference. They could change their goddamn name, color scheme, head coaches, where they're located, and I would still hate them. It's just a fact. We are going to hate each other no matter the conference, no matter the distance, no matter anything. It's just part of this thing that we have. And I don't know if you can change that no matter if you move conferences or not. It does make it less spicy, though. When you don't have the conference, that impacting your ability to make, to succeed and to make playoffs and things like that, that doesn't make it as fun. But no matter what, these two teams will be rivals.
I had rivals at the college radio station back in the day. And you know what happens when you move away and you don't see them all the time and you're not competing for the same spot? You forget about the rivalry because you don't give a shit anymore. You got bigger things to worry about. And that's what will happen here if U of A leaves for the Big 12. Sure, the hate will still be there because that's always going to be the case when two schools are in the same state. But the rivalry will die on the vine, especially if they don't make sure that they're playing every year in football and twice a year in basketball. It's just not the same. And you're not competing for the same thing anymore. You're not competing for the Pac-12 South crown. Now you're competing in two different leagues. The rivalry will die if U of A, or ASU for that matter, leaves for another conference. The problem here is U of A and ASU should be working in concert to move to the same conference and not let the rivalry die. It's people at the top that aren't thinking this way, in particular over at ASU, where you should be thinking, how do we make this the most successful we can? And staying in the Pac-12 will kill your basketball and football programs. Both should be moving to the Big 12 so no rivalry dies and no school has to flounder in a joke of a conference that the Pac-12 is becoming.
Oh, so now I have to make my decisions based on what they do? Are you kidding me? It doesn't matter. Like, do whatever is best for your school. It's not going to impact the rivalry. I will say, again, yes, not being in the same conference doesn't have that same spice, but you can't make decisions based on that. Right now, the Pac-12 is an absolute fucking mess. And if you leave it because there's a better opportunity, you need to do that regardless of how it impacts your rivalry with another school. That's the silliest shit ever to base where you are going to go with these conferences being the way they are. You need to get on TV, you need to get money, you need to improve your program, and sometimes you're just not going to do that in the conference that you're in. So you can't worry about whether or not your rival moves with you. This isn't a fairy tale thing where we need to go hand in hand and be together forever. We can still hate each other from a distance. I have stared across a party at someone I hated, and it doesn't matter how far away we were, I hated that motherfucker the same amount.
You're pathetic. You are so pathetic.
You have nothing to
Look,
say. You have
No,
nothing.
I do have something to say.
Totri over here
If
worrying
U
about
of
me
A-
yelling. Shut up,
If
Totri.
U of A and ASU are in separate conferences, to quote the great Taylor Swift, we're never ever getting back together. It is over at that point, and you don't move because of the rivalry necessarily. You move because it's the right thing to do. The Big 12's where both of these teams should be, and neither one should stay in the Pac-12 that's withering. Enjoy being on Ion television, ASU.
How dare you use Taylor Swift against me? That's it. That's all I got.
All right, chat. It's time to vote. I'll give you guys about a minute after the poll is out there.
Just a reminder, Espro hates all of you in the chat, and he said that
No,
both on the show and earlier.
I said I'd like more people in the chat to vote, and there was only 3 when I said it.
There were 13.
How many are there now?
20.
Yeah, that's right. I'm happy with you all showing up. Thank you.
All right. The poll is open. I'm going to mute them so they can't sway you guys anymore.
Oh,
I'll just
come
talk
on.
to you. Guys, how we feeling? How's everybody doing? It's a Wednesday, midweek Wednesday. We got a big slate of shows for you planned today. Come join me on Bets at noon, an ASU at 2, Coyotes show at 11:30. And yeah, the High Point with Jalen Conyers is on tonight as well. All right, you only 7 people have voted, guys. Let's hurry it up. Currently, the vote is pretty close, but
Fairly close.
I need more votes, guys. If you guys don't know how to vote, hey, you guys, you're unmuted now, so you guys can talk.
Oh, we can
Come
talk
on.
now.
Vote
Thank
for me.
you, Mayor.
This man can't
Oh,
dance.
it is now tied.
Oh no.
It is
Oh
now
no.
tied.
We need this to be solved.
Oh,
So,
and the person who is losing is taking the lead.
oh no. Or yes.
Leah's
I don't
probably
know.
voted 14 times against me in this poll.
That's right.
She's running around to all the computers in here
Oh,
because
I
of my
love you, Leah.
Coyotes
Oh.
take.
Thank you, Leah.
Oh, it's a runaway now.
Oh no.
I might just call it.
Oh,
Call
yeah.
it.
I might just call it.
Is it?
Yeah, I think
No.
so.
Who's standing
The
next
poll's
week?
ending with 14 votes total.
All right.
Well, now it's time for the winner of Southwest Bias.
Ooh, look at the new
Guys,
crown.
we have a new crown, and I'm very proud of it. It's beautiful. It makes me happy. And our music for our winner got deleted, so I'll just have to sing. Do 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 do. Derek wins.
Yeah!
What horse crap! You all just love to
Yeah,
hate
you're
me.
standing next up. You're gonna say it's standing next episode is what you're
I'm
gonna
sorry that I'm the Stephen A. Smith of this program and people love to hate me. It's fine. I can take your hate because I've seen what makes you cheer, and it ain't pretty. It's that guy, and it's gross.
Derek, you're gonna lose your crown privileges if
Oh,
you
I
keep
won't.
moving.
I'm sorry.
All right, guys. We'll be back next Wednesday as Espo is going to be standing the entire time. Make sure to join us right here on the PHNX Sports YouTube channel, 10:30 a.m. every single Wednesday. But until then, we'll see you guys later.